What's up, bottom feeders? You would think that when I play a spy deck, I know what I'm doing, right? And you would also think that if I happen to face Walker 735 on John on a tournament, he also knows what he's doing, right? Well, wrong! And today you will see a video in which I face Walker 735 and both of us played a very bad magic. In fact, as you might have noticed, there are 2 copies of GiorgioCombo on the stack. That's for 2 reasons. First of all, I have Storm, of course, so I copy myself sometimes. And the second one is, this is alpha reaction video, an alpha instructional video in which I go over the punts that we both made and I point out the plays that we should have made. This will be very fun, but at the same time it will be very useful, I think, because you cannot really improve if you don't go over the punts that you made. Because let's be real, everyone makes mistakes in life and the better players are the ones who learn something from the mistakes. Did we really play all that bad, or am I just exaggerating? Let's find out. As you might have noticed, my microphone setting has also changed. In fact, I'm trying to get better at everything which is related to the content creation. So please let me know in the comments if the audio is better, and I think this is a very good video to do that because you will hear my new microphone setting here and you will hear from him the old microphone setting, so you can kind of compare them. So let me know in the comments because it's really important to me. Thank you. As always, don't like the video, don't subscribe to my channel, don't buy the guide about Wildfire Spy, and don't tell anyone about it because it's a secret. But here's what you should do. You should go to Mezzo Friends, which is my kind sponsor, and you should use my affiliate code GiorgioCombo with all capital letters for a 5% discount. So the story goes like this. I was recording a video about 6-Land Spy, a more combo-oriented version, when I faced Walker 735. And we happened to play very bad. I was very excited at the start of the match, but with the progress of the game, I realized how bad the match was. The rest of the league is not all that meaningful in my opinion, so instead of releasing bad content, I decided to just put up on YouTube this very match, because that's the more funny one, but at the same time, I think it's the more interesting one, and you will see why. Let's go to the match. Welcome to match number 2, and this is a very important match because we are playing against our arch enemy. My arch enemy, Walker 735. And this has the flavor of a grudge match because, guys, what if our opponent, Walker 735, is playing Jund? Then this is the grudge match of the century. Okay, so I'm very excited for that. Yeah, I really was excited. I really want to win this game because, you know, and this is it, and this is the grudge match. Here I'm writing to Walker. And this is the grudge match. I'm recording. And you know, Walker is a very bad person, and for sure he has a Wildfire in hand, 100%. So I'm gonna discard it because I know him. And as I told you, Walker is very bad and very mean. In fact, he has the Nile spellbomb because, you know, when you talk to Walker, how is this matchup for you? Oh, it's a buy, I never lost. And it turns out he always has his one-offs and he always happens to draw the best card for the right spot. And since I know him, I played the Mesmeric Fiend. And in fact, he did at the Nile Spellbomb. But before we move on, why this is a grudge match? Why is this so important? Because when I popularized the spy deck, Walker at first was a bit skeptic. But after some time, he realized that Spy is a very good deck. So he started tweaking the list to not lose to Spy. And he arrived to do something very, very bad, because he created a list, which is playing right now in leagues, which is called Jund Anti-Giorgio, which is filled with 1,000,000 anti-graveyard cards. So, you see, this is a grudge match for this reason, and I need to destroy him. Well, Walker, why you do this to me? We are gonna discard again, because if not, they're gonna cast down the Mesmeric Fiend and take back the Spellbomb Swamp. And you know, I'm not saying I'm a better person than Walker. I'm just saying that he plays Mirage lands while I play beta ones. And of course, I'm not saying this means I am 100% a better person than him, but, well, you know, you
Of
decide.
Course, better lands are better than
Here
Mirage
I'm gonna
lands.
go Malevolent Rumble into Mesmeric Fiend. And I think we need the Sagu Wildling. Yeah, because we need lands. Lands, it's all we need right now. And, you know, maybe, I'm not sure this is a punt, but a Night Spellbomb is under the Mesmeric Fiend, and it's likely that that Mesmeric Fiend is going to die sooner or later before I combo. So there was an argument here to take the Masked Vandal. I'm not saying this is a punt, but I'm not sure. It's a tough decision here. But at the same time, we need lands. That's true, because we need to find 3 more lands, and we have no land searchers right now. So, I don't know. And we need to cast the Mesmeric Fiend. And of course, here we needed to... Walker! Okay, so you see, there's no point in taking cast down, right? That's typical Walker. Typical Walker. He draws the exact card he needed in that spot. And it's always the same. And we need to send a message. And that message is, I attack you for 1 with Mesmeric Fiend. And Walker, shh. So now all my Mesmeric Fiends are kind of useless, because cast down is gonna kill the ones with Karkan Shaman. Lembas again. Okay. And they scry to the bottom. Okay, this is very nice. So Walker, wait for me, because I am gonna spy you very, very soon. I take the mountain in order to play the Chrysalis next turn. I attack for 2, because I want those nightmares horrors to haunt Walker's dreams forever and ever. Okay, so I was saying, Mesmeric Fiend here are not very good, because they are gonna die and the cards under them are gonna go back to Walker's hand. But at the same time, there's kind of a change which will work good for us, because in this spot, the reasonable thing for him is to cast down the Mesmeric Fiend with the Karklan Shaman under it, and then use the Karklan Shaman to kill the other Mesmeric Fiend and take back the Nihil Spellbomb. And at that point, we could destroy the Nihil Spellbomb with Masked Vandal. So, in a certain way, the Mesmeric Fiend have been duresses, right? Oh, no, they placed the draws for bridges, so they have a Swamping End. Okay. Yeah. They go for the cast down play, okay, and they have a Swamping End. And I know Walker thinks he is funny, and so he will kill my Mesmeric Fiend with the aim to play a Spellbomb again. Little do we know that I have a Masked Vandal, the Vandal which is masked, that is gonna vandalize his Nihil Spell. And here he is thinking about using the Karkan Shaman now, because if he do that, he also destroys the spawns before the Riding Chrysalis enters, right? Using Karkan Shaman now, so that my Chrysalis is less big. Yeah, that's reasonable. But at the same time, if you do that, yeah, okay, as he does, he chooses wisely, because if you do that and I have a 6th land, then I go Balustrade Spy and I can combo. And First of all, it's just funny to me hearing myself in the past saying, as it does, Walker find the right play, because you will see later that's not always the case. And second, who would have guessed that Walker would have drawn Toxin Analysis to clear my board and also kill my Chrysalis? Okay. And we're gonna sacrifice the spawns just so that Carclan Shaman deals less damage, and so he gains less life. Okay. So now he plays Nile Spellbomb, we play Masked Vandal, we top deck a land, and next turn we Balustrade Spy for the win. Also, I thought the technical correct play. He changes phases just so that we lose mana, even though he knows we don't have anything to do with that mana. So he is joking with us. Walker, what do you do? That's not nice. And here you see, if it wasn't for the Toxin Analysis, we would have won this turn, because at this point we would have had a Chrysalis on the board, and we would have had 6 lands on the battlefield, and we go Mass Bundle, Spy, and Chrysalis, and Dread return back the other Loader Giant. But that's not the case, because Walker always draw the card he needs. Walker, what are you doing? That's not what a friend would do. And here we are not gonna use Land Grant. And you know why? Because he knows we play 6 lands, and he doesn't know we have Land Grant in hand. So maybe he think we have a Spy, and in this spot, if you Wildfire us, then we can Spy and win, maybe. And since Land Grant costs 0, there's no point in doing that now. Okay, so now we can win on our turn, unless we draw. Oh, why? Wow, not like this. And that's the sad reality when you play versus Walker, which not only he always draw what he needs, but he always will stack your deck in order for you to play the less relevant card. No. So now we need to find a Chrysalis, or we need them to draw a refurbished familiar in order to discard this Loader Giant. Or else we can find the draw 5 and go to discard. But that's incredibly bad, because it was 1 in 41 cards, Walker! Actually, it was not 1 in 41 cards, because Dread Return would have been bad the same. The outcome would have been the same. So it's like 1 in 20 cards. And I don't know, Walker stacked my deck so that I would lose to the 1 out of 20 chance that I drew one of those 2 cards. And that's what a good friend would do? Leave a comment to tell me that's what a good friend would do, because I don't think so. But let's move on. Of course. Imagine if those cards were in the reverse order. Just think about it for a second. And now we lose. Yeah, because he also found Carclan Shaman. And as you see, in the previous turn, if we would have comboed out, we would have had just 3 creatures for the Dread Return, and we would have lost to a removal spell. But as it turned out, he doesn't have a removal spell, because he has just 1 card in hand now, and that card is an Hydra, so he didn't have it, and so he needed to stack our deck. And I don't think this is very kind. And he also happened to draw the Carclan Shaman. And at this point, I don't think it's relevant to see the rest of this game, because he just put a giant Hydra on Carclan Shaman and he attacked us until we died. So, okay, so this is not a game where we wanna do a mid-range plan. So we're gonna cut the Chrysalis for sure, and we're gonna bring in the Conjurer's Bauble. Why? Because we want to win around Carclan Shaman, and we want to shuffle back lands. We want to bring in the Swamp for sure, and I think we want to bring in the Dimir Guards. And now, you could play 7 lands, but I think he is not gonna Wildfire us, because he knows we play 7 lands. So we are gonna mind trick him, as he mind tricked us, because while we were not looking, he shuffled our back and stacked our deck to put Lothar Giant on top. He cheated. And that's the only reason why he won the previous game. So we are gonna cheat him back. And we are gonna cut Mesmeric Fiend, I think. Well, you know... And here's where the tricky parts arise. Because previously, cutting Mesmeric Fiend was an easy choice. But since Walker created the anti-Giorgio list, which has Crypt Incursion and Pulse of Murasa, and sometimes even Heritage Reclamation, we're now forced to leave some Mesmeric Fiends in, which are not very, very good in the matchup, because, as you saw in the previous game, they tend to die a lot. And so it's hard for this list to beat John Wildfire in this exact iteration. We could cut Malevolent Rumble. Yeah, let's do like this. Because we have the Dimir's Guard to find the Spice Girls. The Spice Girls. And this is a Mulligan. I don't know, this hand is very bad because... Oh no, but we have 3 Swamps in the deck. So maybe we... But we don't... we don't have grid mana. Yeah, I think we try. And having 3 Swamps is very good, because if we didn't have 3 Swamps, we needed to use Troll to find nothing, just so that we could reanimate that on turn 2, and it's not very good. Or we needed to put a Swamp back in the deck to go find with a Troll. But at that point, we would have kept the... I don't know. I should ask Dolomitan. Anyways, the Giant was in our end. So what would you do? You keep the Giant in hand, which is at that draw anyway. That's good if we draw green. And maybe they don't have cast down? There's no reason to keep the Bauble in, because if we really need, we can cycle it. I mean, you can keep this one in hand to discard that if they go for Refurbished Familiar, because that's the least important card in our hand. But if they do that, we can just cycle. So, and this way we play around the rest. So it's better to play that. I don't know. Wildfire here actually helps us. Look at this turn. Look at this turn. I don't think we play the Masked Vandal. Yeah, I know they just have 1 black mana, but if... Yeah. If we go for the... Okay, so let's think this through for a moment. Let's analyze this turn. He clearly doesn't have cast down in hand, because he took 12 damage from the Troll. So, and maybe he has a black land in hand, I'm not sure. But he didn't show us if we had. And I know Mass Bundle could destroy a possible Nile Spellbomb in order for us to combo, but we are so far away from the combo, because we need 2 more lands, and we don't have land searchers in hand right now, so it's pointless to keep the Masked Vandal just for the one-off Nile Spellbomb that he plays. Because remember, in the anti-Giorgio list, he uses a different Graveyard 8 set. There's no reason to do that. Masked Vandal, then they... And look. Then they dispute that, and yeah, it's good if they don't have black mana, but it's very bad otherwise.
No, that's not
we
true.
are actually not that far from comboing out.
No, that's not true. That's not true. Giorgio of the past, it's not true. Playing the Masked Vandal, it's better even if they have another black mana, because even if they have another black mana, and imagine they have a swamp and a dispute in hand, and they go swamp and dispute the map token, and they find the Khazad-dûm, but they don't have black mana now, so we attack back for 7, because remember, we now have the Masked Vandal, and they go to 1.
Because they have a 2-turn clock, and they need to find an answer for the troll.
And look,
and if they don't, they just
didn't
dice,
have another
which
black
is
mana.
good for us.
Yeah, they did after the...
As it turned out, destroying
dispute.
black mana would have been probably good because, yeah, I think I'm gonna keep the Masked Vandal. And here is why. Because they have 4 artifacts now. They have 4 artifacts now, and if on my turn I destroy a black mana, then they don't have... They have 3 artifacts, so it's harder for them to kill the troll. Yeah, I think I should discard Land Grant and go for Masked Vandal. If my plan doesn't work, hope to combo later. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to...
And let's just imagine them with 1 less mana.
Imagine if we drew Lotlet before the Vandal this time. Just think about it. Maybe I needed to be more aggressive. I don't know. But they will probably have 2 more artifacts now. That's 1. They can go to 5. We still survive. They can cast down. They can toxin analysis. Yeah. Do they have toxin analysis? Probably. Well, I'm gonna attack. Okay. Now...
Imagine if they are out 1 and they do not have a Refurbished Familiar in hand.
Because we drew the Giant at the wrong time. Otherwise, we could have gone Exhum for the Giant and win. But no. They are at 1. What if we play Balustrade Spy and mill them and try to win with combat damage? Or maybe we Balustrade Spy ourselves and hope to mill the other Giant.
I think that's correct now.
Okay, let's go. So Forest was the first card of my deck. Nice. Okay.
But I deserve it.
If they refurbished Familiar, we discard the Lotta Giant, we attack, they kill our creatures, we exhume back the Lotta Giant and we win, maybe? Yeah, of course. Well, maybe I should have played the Masked Vandal. We can exhume for 1, but they are 7 now. We just attack. Yeah, okay. And they're Crackle and Shaman, so we cannot spy ourselves. Because if we do that, then we cannot... we could go Sagu Wildling, take the last land in the deck, play it, exhume the Spy, and reanimate the zombie, and go for the combo. But we cannot do that. We can do that next turn if we draw a small creature. Because then we exhume the spy, we reanimate the zombie, in response they Karkan Shaman for 3, and after the zombie resolve, we play the other creature. Malevolent Rumble, it's Voodoo. Oh, but I don't have Malevolent Rumble in my deck now. Oh yeah, okay. So they can Karkan Shaman for 1 million. Yeah, they should probably attack. And a small creature wins us the game. Can we do that? No, but this... Yeah, 1 creature. Very nice. At this point, I'm not even sure if it's correct to play the Masked Vandal here. Maybe it is. I don't know. No, surely it's not, because next turn we can do the play that I said earlier, which costs 5 mana. 2 for the Exhume, 2 for the Vandal, and 1 for the Zombie. Of course, they have 7 mana open and 4 cards in hand, so everything could happen. But, yeah, we go for it. And here we lose to Khazad-dûm, and we lose to the 3-mana exile the graveyard. We lose to Pulse of Murasa. So, I'm gonna do that. It is what it is, I guess. I discard the Generous Ant. Okay, zombie. Okay. Okay, Karkan Shaman for 3. The Vandal dies, and we play another Masked Vandal. You have something? Yeah, you do. Or maybe not.
Here we should have changed the face, but that's not really relevant.
Wow, GiorgioCombo wins! That's incredible!
And here's in game 3 is where things get really muddy, because here's where the worst misplays happen. And at the same time, the game starts with a misplay by him, because I should have put in the 7th land. Why? Because he saw in the previous game that we just have 6 lands. So now he has an incentive to go for Wildfires on our lands. That's a misplay.
Okay, this is game 3, and as you surely know, this is a very, very important game. Because if we win, then, well, we triumphed over Walker 735. While if we lose, then that's very, very bad. Because Walker, it's gonna haunt my dreams forever, for the rest of my life. But it's nice that this is a keep. And this is a spy. And we are gonna play the forest. We are gonna pass, and we are gonna use the Generous Ant. Okay. Probably they're gonna play the Conjurer's Bauble. That was an argument to play the Conjurer's Bauble turn 1 to play around Duress a little bit, but I don't know. Oh, and he takes the Exhume. So this means it's probably soft to a Generous Ant. I don't know, it could be. Now I don't think it's reasonable to take the land, because this is not a spot where we are attacking fast enough. So here I'm gonna play the Swamp and a Conjurer's Bauble. And he doesn't know about the Masked Vandal, which is good, because maybe he banked on using a Spellbomb, and we beat that. And we also have an answer to an instant speed Graveyard 8. We have a Conjurer's Bauble out now. And having both Exhume and Conjurer's Bauble, it's good, because Conjurer's Bauble and Exhume can both be used after the Spy to win around a Karkan Shaman. And if you have both, then you can use Conjurer's Bauble to shuffle back lands in, which can be good. And we are losing the Langren now. Okay. We have 3 lands back. Why? It's always the giant. Okay. And now we play the land, of course. I don't know. I think if we play the Mesmeric Fiend now, yeah, it's gonna for sure die to a Karkan Shaman or incidental explosion effect. So might as well keep it in hand, I think. Because maybe we can set up a turn where we go Mesmeric Fiend into Spy and win. That could happen. At least he's using the right duress version, which is the Urza Saga one.
Yeah, for sure. Oh,
okay.
And he also has Bojuka Bog, because 5 cards against graveyard weren't enough. Thank you, Walker.
This is bad. I don't know what's up with these draws. Maybe I should use Conjurer's Bauble, but then I'm further away from my combo because, yeah, I can't skip another land drop.
Here I think I should have destroyed the green mana, because he clearly doesn't have anything in hand. And maybe he's stuck with green cards in hand. And I have 3 mass bundles.
Little Stampede would be good. Wildfire. So they are probably going to Wildfire us again. Yeah, because it's not very useful to just do it one time.
And here is we're not having the 7th land come back to bite us, because in that case we would have taken the mountain and then he could not have destroyed the 2nd swamp, and we would have had 1 more land in the deck, and notably 2 black lands.
And here I can maybe just play the Dimir Guard as a beater and a creature to have on the board. Because going after the lands is not good. Yeah, we could have played 2 creatures, like 2 Vandals and Mesmeric Fiend, in order to Balustrade Spy and win next turn, but that only works if he has nothing in hand. Yeah. Now I'm gonna go for the Vandal and Fiend. No. And I cannot beat Karkan Shaman with just 4 lands.
And I don't think playing Khazad-dûm in that spot was correct, because the Dimir Guard did nothing, right?
This will not work, but something we could try to do is to go after the artifacts and make it so that it doesn't have 3 artifacts for our max bundles. Of course, it will never work, but we don't have a better plan.
Okay, that's a good play by me, but at the same time I should have passed priority and made so that he wastes his mana, right?
Now, he just has 2 artifacts. Oh, he is gonna Karkan Shaman for 3.
And this is unexpected and at the same time very, very bad, because he had 4 artifacts. I destroyed 2 artifacts, so he's left with 2 artifacts. And using the Karkan Shaman now doesn't really make sense, because he just plays another artifact on his turn and then the Karkan Shaman is able to kill the Masked Vandal again. So you can just do that in response to the Balustrade Spy, right? I go for the Balustrade Spy, I mill myself, and at that point you Karkan Shaman. But this way you also keep my Mesmeric Fiends in check.
Reasonable.
And if I had changed phase, he would have lost the green mana, because there's no way he goes for cycle. No, I don't think. No, that's not true. He would have cycled in response anyway, so that's not relevant.
And now we're gonna Mesmeric Fiend and Masked Bundle again. And hope he has nothing, so the turn after we win. And now I cannot cast list the Stampede.
Another very, very strange thing happens again.
Mesmeric Fiend, let's go. Walker. I don't know, Walker. Do you think this is nice? because I don't think this is nice.
No, it's not.
Okay, we could take Fanatical Offering and go for Masked Vandal, destroy the land. Or we could take Pulse of Murasa. Yeah, I need to take Pulse of Murasa and Masked Vandal the land. He is gonna Fanatical Offering the land, and next turn I'm gonna Mesmeric Fiend the Crypt Incursion, and the turn after try to win. And if he finds something good with Fanatical Offering, then I lose. Yeah, that's the plan. Because if I take Fanatical Offering, then I have no way to beat those two cards. Because remember, I can beat Pulse of Murasa easily if I have 5 lands, because Bauble or a Song does that, but I'm very far away from that. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe I could take Fanatical Offering and Pulse of Murasa. Yeah, but I cannot cast the Mesmeric Fiend now. No, I should take Pulse of Murasa, because if I don't, he's gonna take Karknon Shaman back. Yeah, I need to take Pulse of Murasa. And I'm gonna play Masked Vandal. And he's gonna dispute for sure. Oh no, he don't.
And let's analyze things in a rational way. Walker did a punt which is way worse than mine. He didn't cast the dispute in response to the Masked Vandal, which was about to kill the land anyway. When I talked to Walker after the match, I asked why, and he said, "What? Did I have a dispute effect? I didn't remember." So I think this counts. Oh, sorry. I think this counts for 2.
What happened? Okay, this is strange. What am I missing?
That's very good.
This is good. Let's play.
And here's another punt for me, because taking the Crypt Incursion now does nothing. Next turn I cannot go for the Balustrade Spy anyways, right? So might as well cast Lead the Stampede and use my mana better.
Masked Fiend.
And he is stuck because he refused to cast the Fanatical Offering.
And I need one more creature to win. I need one more creature, because if I go Spy and Dread Return and sacrifice Mesmeric Fiend, then he gets back the Crypt Incursion of Pulse of Murasa.
Correct. And that's a reason to cast Lead the Stampede and not the Mesmeric Fiend, because it does nothing anyways.
Yeah, cast Lead the Stampede then.
Okay, so if I had cast Lead the Stampede the previous turn, this turn I would have had 4 mana available, because I would have used Conjurer's Bauble to put us 1 back, and Sagu Wildling to go get the... And I cast 2 Mesmeric Fiend, and I take the Crypt Incursion, and the third mystery card that Walker has in hand. So it's clearly better, right? But I didn't.
And now I'm gonna put a Swamp back.
Correct.
I'm gonna draw 1 card. I'm gonna cycle for the Swamp. I'm gonna play the Swamp. And I'm gonna attack. And I cannot use Exhume, because if I use Exhume to grab back the Lotless Giant, then before the Lotless Giant pings my opponent, he grabs back Karknon Shaman for 1, and grabs back Crypt Incursion, and I lose. But that's only relevant if Walker has an artifact in play, and he doesn't right now. So...
And he casts me down. Imagine I go for 2 Mesmeric Fiend this turn. I go for the first one. If he lets me take the cast down, with the second one I take the Crypt Incursion, and I have 3 Mesmeric Fiends. If he used the cast down in response to the Mesmeric Fiend, he grabs back the Pulse of Murasa, but then with the first Mesmeric Fiend I take the Pulse of Murasa, and with the second one I take the Crypt Incursion.
So he has Crypt Incursion now, 2 dead Fanatical Offerings, and a mystery card. Conjurer's Bauble, it's our best draw, I think.
I would have won.
No. Oh, that's an artifact. But he doesn't have 3 mana up now. Yes, he does. So, and what was the reason on the previous turn to play the Sagu Wildling and not the Mesmeric Fiend? Because if I had played the Mesmeric Fiend, I would have taken the Crypt Incursion, and this turn I could have comboed out, right? But I didn't, so that's another punt for me. Okay. Exhume does nothing because I don't have the 6 mana. And I can go Mesmeric Fiend and take... Yeah. I attack, I go Mesmeric Fiend. And see, I would have won. And I take Crypt Incursion, but he's gonna dispute a lot. Okay. And now I'm gonna go for the combo. I know if they have cast down, I don't have... Yeah, if they have cast down, I think there's nothing I could do about that, because that's my last Mesmeric Fiend. I think I sided one out. Let's see what happens. So I attack, I cast my Spy. Okay. Do you have it? Yeah, you have it. And yeah, I don't think I could have won. I don't think there's a way to win anyways. And that's how I lost this match. I'm not even sure who deserved to lose, because we both played very, very bad, but that's it. For the future, I want to arrange a true grudge match with Walker, but this time I'm gonna bring an anti-Walker list, because it's just fair, right? If he plays an anti-Giorgio deck, then I'm gonna bring an anti-Walker list. And let's see who will play bad. Probably both. Does it mean that me and Walker are both bad Magic players? I don't think so. Everyone makes mistakes, and as I said, the good players, in my opinion, are the ones who learn from the mistakes they make. And you know what? In the world of social networking, where everyone wants to be seen as perfect, I think we should be grateful that Walker gave me the consent to show you this match. So leave a comment to tell me if, in your opinion, having an anti-Giorgio list is something that should be allowed between friends. So that's it for today. I hope you found it funny, but at the same time insightful. And if you liked see me and Walker play very, very bad Magic the Gathering, tell everyone you know. And if you didn't, well, vattene a fanculo.